All right, excellent afternoon, guys. Women are the builders of the nation. They represent the foundation. They give rise to the nation. Yeah, is that English correct? I think so. And they make great leaders emerge. And hence, they are a dispensable, integral part of every society. Therefore, they should be respected, heard, seen, and allowed to represent themselves. Again, excellent afternoon, you all. You're welcome to another interesting episode of Real Talk with Kike. Now, of course, I remain your convener of Real Talk with Kike, and I am Kike Lomatodao. And I have the ladies on the table. Efo, how are you doing today?
I'm good,
The woman
Kike.
in orange, the woman with the gray hair. Like people will tell me, I love that the lady with the gray hair.
God's
and she
gift.
speaks so well. She's very articulate. I said, oh,
bless
you're
God.
right. You're right. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm great. It's a great day to be alive. It's good to see you, Damilola. It's good to see you too.
I think it's the first time this month.
Damilola, you have that timetable. I don't know.
Yeah, is this the first time this morning?
I think so.
I think so.
The month is still very young.
I think so.
Well,
anyway.
Good afternoon, all our viewers from everywhere you have the opportunity to see this. It's another exciting time with Real Talk with Kike. We're going to keep it real as usual and as always. Please stay with us.
All right, let's hear what Nigeria is telling us, because I know Nigeria has something to pass across to us every time we appear on the show. So listen to what Nigeria has to say on this segment, on this day in history. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
On this day in history, 19th of October, 1934, exactly 87 years ago, Yakubu Gowon, also known as Jack Gowon, was born in Pangshin, Plateau State, Nigeria. The Nigerian military leader served as head of state from 1966 to 1975. Gowon was educated in Zaria and later became a career army officer. After the coup of January 1966, he was appointed chief of staff by Major General Johnson Aguiyi Ronsi, the new leader. Northern officers staged a counter coup in July 1966, and Gowon emerged as the compromise head of the new government on July 29, 1975. However, while Gowon was in Uganda for Organization of Africa Unity Summit meeting, the army removed him from office. Gowon was exiled to Great Britain. He was stripped of his rank for allegedly participating in the assassination of his successor, Murtala Muhammad, in 1976. He was pardoned by Shehu Shagari in 1981, and his rank was restored by Ibrahim Babangida in 1987. Having earned a PhD at Warwick University in 1983, he became a professor of political science at the University of Jos in the mid-80s and attained the status of an elder statesman of Nigeria politics.
All right, on this day in history, I think it has a mixture of both positive and negative and how they're trying to find the balance. And therefore, let me start with you.
She doesn't like the eye.
What's your take on this day in history?
On this day in history, we celebrate former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, retired. And he's 87 today.
Absolutely.
So, on this day in history, records how that when coups were the in thing in Nigeria at the time, you know, he was probably one of the most celebrated generals, together with his wife, Victoria. You know, you could never call his name Yakubu Gowon without mentioning Victoria. And he was a fine gentleman, you know. So on this day in history, we just want to say, from Real Talk with Kike, we congratulate you, sir. And I really am wondering what will be going through his mind with regards to the state of the nation today on his 87th birthday. Dami?
Well, I think I'll pick it up from where you stopped. Sometimes in August, he had a convergence of different religious leaders, and they staged the national prayer booth camp or something, saying that Nigeria needs to get overhauling. And I also saw that he said by the end of 2021, Nigeria will be fully restored of insecurities, of ceaseless debts and all of that. So we are still hoping. This is October. I pray that the reason why he staged the prayer in August will definitely come to pass. But we can only wish him a happy birthday. Thank you for whatever you must have done for us. We see it in the books. The history has it. And that's why we're here today. And of course, posterity will never forget you, sir.
Oh, I wish that really we are declining in insecurity, just like Buhari mentioned few days ago. And I'm wondering, am I in another country or what exactly is going on here? But you know what? Before I get a ring again on what I said on the show, over the last 20 years, Wimbiz has inspired, empowered, and advocated for better representation of women, directly impacting over 216,000 women in Nigeria and beyond. These are great milestones that Wimbiz has covered, and we need to find out what they are about to celebrate in the next few days or few weeks thereabouts. And on the show today, our conversation is going to be on the 20th anniversary annual conference of women in management, business, and public service. And the organization is a non-profitable organization focused on increasing and supporting the success rate of female entrepreneurs and the proportion of women in senior position in corporate organization and in the public service. Our guests on the show today are Wimbiz associates and members of the conference planning group committee. We will be listening to them in the next few minutes. But you know what? I think that it's important for us to emphasize how they will be advocating for what they've done thus far, especially with the successes and the challenges that they faced for them to have better 20 anniversary. So again, welcome to the show, Aderoju Okpe Ajayi, right? I think that's a compound name with your father's name and your husband's name, correct?
Actually, both are my husband's
Are you serious?
Really?
Interesting. Yoruba people do that a lot. They will combine the man's first name and the last name. All right, you're welcome to the show. Many thanks for being here today. And of course, we have Ayodotun Akifenwa. She's a guest. She's a family of this platform, Real Talk with Kike. And I must say welcome. She's joining us via Zoom line. She's a brand marketing communication by profession. She's one of the few young women that must tell you that I'm really proud of all she has done thus far. Dotu, many thanks for joining us. I know because they are joining us via studio, I think it's best for me to start my question with you, and I would like to ask, yes, don't worry, calm down, I'm very easy.
She goes like, hey.
So, Dotu, I must ask you, because I know that you're fully involved with Wimbiz, and I know part of your success stories when it comes to Guinness, when it comes to Tony Elumelu Foundation, and a whole lot of that. I don't want to start, putting your profile out there because you didn't pay me for that. But the first question I would like to ask you is that, what have been some of, what has it been like, or what are some of the successful advocacy and impact of the achievement of Wimbiz over the years?
Okay, so there's so many levels to it. I'm going to start with a very personal story, and then I'll take it to the general stuff. So for me, when I joined Wimbiz in, I think, 2015, 2016, there's so many programs. So I don't even know where to start. There's the mentoring program. There's the, I'm going to start with my own, experience. So, I went through the mentoring program and I got a lot of support because I was at a time when I was starting my own business. And from that, my relationship with my mentor is still blossoming today. I connected with so many opportunities till today. I'm connecting those opportunities. Wimbiz has done a lot. So I'm going to go into extensive stuff like Wim Paul, there's Wim Cap, there's the Big Sister program, there's the flagship conference that's coming up in November. There's so many outreaches and programs. There are a lot of things that we can say. For example, we have the fact that we have so many, how do I put it now? We have quite a number of female MDs in the banking sector. I'm going to start a long story, but I want to keep the story very short. We had a hand in that because we were part of creating conversations that triggered that from as far back as 2012. So there are a lot of personal experiences and, nationwide and even beyond Nigeria experiences that we can share. Well, I'm going to keep it short today.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Yeah. But I would also like to ask, what was the early years of Wimbiz like? Could you give us a deep insight of how Wimbiz came together and the early years challenges that Wimbiz has faced?
So Wimbiz, funny enough, started from a man just looking at the challenges his wife encountered. She was trying to balance her career and, the home and all of that. So Mr. Chichi Okonjo brought together women around the kitchen table women who are leading in their respective careers as well. And, they started the conversation. And of course, it started small and of course, built over time. Of course, as with anything, when you start small and unrecognized, and of course, bringing people together. And of course, all those challenges, we have been through that the past 20 years. And one key challenge that really hit us last year was the fact that we've always had conferences, that flagship conference, which brings people together. We've always had those conferences in person. And last year we had to really switch it up quickly to a virtual, which in itself was a challenge, but it opened us up to even more opportunities doing things virtually. We started doing things virtually before, but it opens us up to reach a lot of people, especially because Nigerians are leaving and a lot of them are in the diaspora. We're able to reach more women beyond our immediate environment. And I think last year we were able to reach about 7,000 women. So it was a huge challenge that we overcame with the pandemic here.
All right, many thanks to your daughter for that. I think we should come back to you that you are physically in the studio with us. Aderoja, I know that there are a lot of policies for women advancement when it comes to WIMBIZ. I want you to help us, enhance or put out there how WIMBIZ has helped a lot of what's it called, initiative or championed a lot of advocacies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just mentioned one which happened, and I think that's one that has like a huge impact, and we've seen the ripple effect. We have what we call the WIM board. It's one of our programs, our advocacy programs. Now, WIM board is a way of getting women ready to sit on boards, right? And it was launched in November 2021, and during that year we had the former CBN governor. His Excellency Lamido Sanusi, he came and he spoke about the representation of Nigerian women in boards. And after that, he promised that, there was going to be a policy that the CBN was going to bring out that would speak to, women in the banking, industry and in sector. And we can see it now. We have 8 female MDs. And not counting, the number of women that have now been offered the board opportunities to sit on board. So, that's one major impact and policy change that has happened based on conversations that have been had. And, even in the WIM board executive program, we find that people have graduated. I think in 2021, we graduated 76 women. So we have 76 women that are like ready to sit on boards right now, So that is just one of the most amazing things that we have had as WIMBIZ.
That's very commendable.
Yes.
First, I want to say from the desk of Real Talk with Kike, congratulations.
Thank you.
On your 20th annual conference coming up shortly.
You.
I'd like to know, what has been your personal experience, from past WIMBIZ annual conferences? Yes.
I think, if anybody is an advocate for WIMBIZ, it will be me. Because, so I started attending WIMBIZ as a 9-to-5, a career person, because I just, I was looking for a group of women, or no, actually it was one of my mentors that told me about it. And she was just like, come for this conference. And I came and I was like, wow, okay, it was so mind expanding for me to see women, that have shattered ceilings and that have, creating pathways for other women. And I remember attending and I was just wowed, and I sat through the conference like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then fast forward, this was in 2016. Fast forward 2017, I had to now resign and start my own business. Okay. And WIMBIZ for me provided, I say this all the time, later that year, 2017, I had, during the conference, I applied for what was one of the grants that WIMBIZ gives entrepreneurs. This is the WIMBIZ Impact Investment Competition, and I won. And my area of business is not something that is common. I'm a swim instructor. I teach women and children how to swim. And it wasn't people like you left work to come and start.
We have a conversation.
I was going to come to that.
And people just didn't understand it. That how can you leave 9 to 5? I was head of sales, and you're leaving to go and do what exactly? And I won that competition, and it validated my idea. It gave me the confidence and the strength to know that, look, this is a valid idea. It would work. And, fast forward, we're here now, and it's been amazing. And, I encourage everybody, come to the conference. Even all the we have other programs that we have as well, but at the annual conference, your mind is mind expanding. I assure you, it's.
All right, many thanks, Aderoju, for sharing your personal experience. And you know what, Doctor, let me come to you, because listening to Aderoju talking about our own personal experience, I think it's important for me to ask you, what are some of the challenges you have witnessed when it comes to WIMBIS in terms of overcoming some challenges, aside sharing some personal experience or other experiences that people might have passed through as well?
Well, I mean, one problem or challenge I can speak to as with any NGO or not-for-profit organization, I mean, funding is always something that because as much as we have a lot of supportive people, we have a lot of advocates, we have a lot of funding that comes in, the impact that we are trying to make is huge. So of course, we're always seeking to increase our funding so that we can make more impact. I mean, for instance, we have the Big Sister program that we're going to reach at least 2,000 people across 6 locations in Nigeria. And the immeasurable funding that goes into creating the conference, because as much as we sell out tickets, there's a lot that's involved in bringing people together, flying people in, getting speakers from all walks of life to come together and speak to people, there's a lot. So I'll speak just funding for now. There's always so much that we can, there's always so much that we can do, and there's always so much we can get, in terms of funding, yeah. So yeah, I'll speak to that.
Okay, I'd like to come to Aderoju here in the studio, and I'd ask, like, this is the first time you people are having, WIMBIS is having a cross-border, a wide range of interesting pre-conference events.
Yes.
And how did it come about? Was it somebody's idea, or everybody put together different ideas before the conference topics were picked? And how did you people actualize this?
Okay, so, again, this is a very special year. WIMBIS is 20. So it can't just be like, it can't just be like the, regular, conference that we usually have. And of course, there's a conference planning group. So of course, everybody comes up with ideas. We have the BOT, which is the Board of Trustees, and the Executive board that we have as well, that they share ideas. So of course, we came up with all the different ideas. We're going to be having, Doctor mentioned one, the Big Sister program. I think that's one of my favorite, things that we do in WIMBIS. It's a mentoring program for girls in public schools. So it's happening across 6 locations: Abuja, Bonny, Port Harcourt, Uyo, Ibadan, and Lagos. And it's actually happening this week. So that's one of the pre-conference events that we're having. There's going to be a Legends Ball where we're going to be celebrating women that have made impact, that have crossed the boundaries. And, want to, as my EC chairman says, want to give them their roses while they're still alive, So we're going to be celebrating legends. Exactly. We're going to be celebrating legends. And there's also going to be a golf competition, like a golf tournament that we're going to have, as well as there's going to be an art exhibition as well that we're having. So and then the conference itself. And not to forget, there's also going to be like a master class. So we're going to be having virtual master classes where people can come and learn, because one thing WIMBIS does, part of the 4 pillars, is that we empower people, we inspire, we advocate, and we connect. So the master class is really majorly for empowerment. We'll have different speakers that will come and speak on various topics. And yes, it's a real,
it's a real
quagmire. Yeah, so a lot of events happening, yes.
Okay, we've been talking women. This conference, is it just about women? No. Can men also attend?
For sure. Remember,
so tell them.
Remember, Aderoju mentioned that
yes.
The idea was originally
bettered
by a man. So
yes.
I assure you, at the WIMBIS conference, we have men and women attending, and we don't close it. It's not a gender thing, like, it's just for women, we are just women, no men, no at all. It's open to both male and female attendees. So please feel free to come. Yes, definitely.
Thank you.
Ayodotu, I think that I would also like to begin with you after coming back from the break. I think the way I want to channel this question is a little bit outside what that I would be asking, because I know that both of you have shared thus far the experiences and how women have, shattered the ceilings. And I must say, there's an adage that says that, or should I just tailor it down to my thoughts, that I'm not a strong believer of women supporting women. When I heard how you joined, and I know that this is a a bigger feeling or thought out there. Let's be real, because we keep it real right here on this platform. And sometimes I also feel that there's some, little slight envy amongst women, not necessarily friends, not necessarily colleagues. I think it's just a natural thing that if it's not properly managed, you understand, it could bet into something pretty bad. So I would like to ask you, tell us about this year's WIMBIZ annual conference and how you guys would like to really channel a lot of light regarding that, with a lot that is happening in the society today.
First of all, I should say that I expected this question because you've asked me this question during an interview before, and this question has different sides to it. I mean, the initial part is the fact that you had questions or thoughts regarding how, women supporting women and how true that is and all of that. And I must say to you that I understand when people say things like that, but the truth of the matter is with WIMBIZ walks the talk. So you find that a lot of our programs, we have people from all walks of life interacting. You will always find high flyers in terms of, women doing great things in their businesses, in their careers, mingling also, with young upcoming people. So I would like to encourage and remind you, like I said at the last conversation we had, that WIMBIZ is an environment for women to foster, and it really walks the talk. I mean, our 4-pronged mandate to advocate, to empower, to inspire, and to connect is something that drives every activity we run. So from the flagship conference, which happens once a year, to our annual lectures, to our regular roundtables, there are no, how do I put it? There are no, to put it very simply and plainly, there are no airs. And this year, because it's a flagship year, we have a variety of programs, a wider variety of programs where people of all walks of life are recognized, supported, and they still connect. So for example, we have the arts and fashion exhibition, where you have young exhibitors, people in the art space, in the fashion scene, coming to showcase their work so that people can invest in their arts. People can buy their PCs, people can invest in their art. So that is a great example. We have the golf tournaments coming up that has people from both genders, where men and women can interact, just to drive the message of gender parity. We have the Legends Ball and the idea of this legacy is not just about, just people in WIMBIZ. It's about women that have, set the pace, have shattered ceilings, and, paved the way for other people beyond the WIMBIZ scene. Women that have, in all these years, done a lot of things for the women and in the community. And the chairman of the executive council said something, the chairperson, she said something the other day, and she said this year's Celebrating Legacy isn't just about the women that have gone ahead. It's also to encourage us to think about our legacies respectively as individuals. What do we want to do for the people coming behind us, the women coming behind us? So we really walk the talk across this year's programs, all the year's programs, and all the activities we're about. I hope I've answered that question.
All right. Well, you tried, but I think I need to save my energy now, because I had a follow-up question to ask you before, but I really don't want to throw you off what that I'll be asking anyways. But hey, Damilola.
Okay. I would also like to ask, WIMBIZ is, are you people looking at any woman who wants to do politics to support such a woman? Are there women who want to vie for political offices, maybe come 2023? And are you people throwing your weight behind her fully?
Yeah, I mean, that's a cause that we're always about. And the level of involvement with, women in politics is on different levels. There's the bit where women actually come out in the grassroots, they come out and, on all levels. And there's also the part of supporting financially, emotionally, being a part of their campaigns. People like them leave people like us, like brand consultants, marketing consultants. So there are different levels, and that's something that WIMBIZ is always a part of. Beyond this conference, that's why we have women in politics, and we have sessions often, and we have a lot of behind the scenes that happen that you don't see. Yes, that is huge. In fact, we've dedicated a very important part of the conference this year to politics. We have the debates. We always have the annual debates, which is very hot. And this year, we're having the Mr. versus Madam Presidents. against the upcoming election. So yes, we're very
2023, we're expecting to see the Wimbies wait.
Okay, I'd like to ask you, majorly, what would you say? Like we call it a selling point. You're talking to the audience now. What would you say is the aim of this 20th annual conference?
All right, I think
Can you answer?
Yeah. Okay, let's have
Okay.
Let's have answer that.
No, go ahead.
Okay, you go ahead.
Go ahead.
So yeah, I'm sure Deirdre will help me after I say my piece. So yes, to celebrate legacy, and like I said, beyond the Wimbies community, to recognize women who have shattered ceilings, who have encouraged others and helped others and paved the way for others as well, and also to help us to inspire us and to drive us as individuals to build our own respective legacies. I'll leave it to Deirdre to cap it up.
Okay, so I believe that legacy is not something that is us celebrating legacy this year is just to show us it can be done, and the effort that it takes to bring you to that point of achievement. So it's very, very encouraging to all women to know that, look, this initiative, this idea that started 20 years ago with just a few people sitting around and having discussions from a man's concern about his wife has grown to impact so many people, and, to give us the courage to know that, look, it is beyond now. Everything we're doing, it's beyond now. It is going into the future, and there's a legacy to be fulfilled.
I'm glad you touched on that.
Yes.
And I think that I would like to bring it back home, tailoring it down to Nigeria, because this is where we are facing a lot of challenges.
True.
We have a few of Ngozi Wela and the likes of a few of Aminat as well. And I know that young women of today, youths of today, do not really want to put in the work. I like to stay real on this platform. And I would like you to, I know that this year you chose the theme celebrating legacy. And I want you to help those who are listening to it, especially the youth of today, the young women out there who do not believe in consistency, who do not believe in that a step at a time, who believe that I have to twerk to do certain things. Yes, who believe that, I want to wear that bone straight now, and they really do not want to go through that work.
Process.
What do you have to say to them? Imagine that they're listening to us. What's the advice you have to give to them? Knowing that today you are celebrating a lot of achievers and you're theming it as legacy. What legacy do you think that these women need to pay attention to in terms of posterity, in terms of what societal values, basically?
So I always have this personal belief that if you don't put in the work now, you put in the work later. So it's important to just decide when you want to put in the work, regardless, people think,
say that as you lay your best, so shall you
well, exactly too, because, even though, you think, I don't want to do it now, I just want to do it, I just want to flex and, vibe and enjoy and everything. There's no how you can continue like that it won't the work won't be demanded from you. And I think this year, the conference is basically showcasing that look, these people have been consistent. These people have been diligent in what they're doing. This is where they are now. And also to show steps to, look, this is how you can do it. This is how you can be exactly. Exactly. Because the plenary because the plenary sessions, those are the sessions we have, they speak to that. So one is about building to last. One is about sharing my narrative, sharing the stories of how someone began and how, women can be in leadership. So we're very specific and targeted to ensure that legacy is not an idea, a nice to have idea. It's actually a real thing, and we've seen the consistency and the impact.
Okay, that's good to also know that you're celebrating legacy, and like Kike said, the girls who want to twerk. But now let's take out the girls who want to twerk, because of course everybody is an embodiment of their option.
Exactly.
People see work and decide to neglect work, and go for probably shortcuts. But like you said, they meet the work in front.
Exactly.
Now the ones that are incapacitated financial wise, is there any room for them to join? Some people really want to put the work, some people want to work the work. Is there a way that they can join with so little funding that they have, or no funding at all?
So that's to join the conference?
That's to join the conference.
Okay, so you know, this year's conference is a mix of hybrid, physical and online.
Virtual.
So there's the virtual, yes, there's the virtual, we have the Wimbiz app actually that we're launching with it, where you can even, you know, connect and do all sorts of things on. So yes, I'm sure there are opportunities for sponsorships, right? For, you know, free, well, I won't say it's free, but you know, someone has paid for it, where you can sponsor people that cannot necessarily afford to attend the conference.
Are willing.
Yes, are willing to. So yes, those opportunities are available.
Okay, and there's another part to what Damilola said. Yes. Those who are willing and cannot afford it.
Yes, exactly.
What about those who have little funding? There's also that same opportunity for them.
Well, it should be available, but what we also
just to
try
conclude
and do,
on what you
yes, what we also try and do
yes.
is earlier we try and encourage people to register early, where it's like a very discounted, you know, rate.
Okay.
But however, of course, I'm sure there are opportunities for people to get, you know, sponsorship to attend the conference.
Okay,
definitely.
now to my question.
Yes.
How can our audience register for this event?
Yes, so they can go on the Wimbiz website, that's www.wimbiz.org, or the wimbizannualconference.com website, where all the registration details are there, and even on the Instagram and other social media handles for Wimbiz.
All right, many
Thank
thanks
you.
for that, and I must say it was a pleasure having you on the show today. And Adedotun, thank you so much for coming on the show as well. It's an interesting time with you both. But I'm not letting you go. Do not leave the lane. If not, we're going to be having issues. You know, so there's a last segment of the show that we call Trending Story, and this trending story is what binds us together, that affect us as one. Things that we've seen on our social media platform, and we're saying, hey, there are some that we didn't really want to touch on because we all have divided opinions, but that's fine. I think one of the trending stories that caught our attention is that of the Air Force that denies paying bandits 20 million naira. I'm very sure you guys saw that as well. But before I let my two guests put in their submission, Efo, what's your take on this?
When I heard that on the news, I thought that news was coming from outer space. That's what I thought, because I'm like, have we sunken that low that you now pay bandits, you know, 20 million supposedly, you know, so that they will not shoot down the aircraft of the president? Is it really that bad? I honestly do not want to believe there is any truth in that story. Then if there's some truth in that story, then there's more work to be done in our country.
Well, I just think that Nigeria as a whole, politics, environment, or corridor as a whole, we all lie. That's the truth. We all just lie. We lie to save some. Sometimes lie becomes a savior. No, we all lie. We all lie. In the sense that, okay, now, you don't want them to shoot President Buhari aircraft. You pay 20. They went to NDA and picked somebody now. They picked soldiers. So, do you think we should believe that you paid 20 million or you didn't pay 20 million? It's about time that we really do not even know what to believe anymore. It's easier to come with a story and to come with another counter story, but what I know is that posterity will judge everybody.
All right, before I ask for your submission, let me first of all give this. Let's clarify this. Not everybody likes to lie.
Yes.
Do I understand that there are some convenient lies in the sense that you could lie that, oh, I'm very close to you. Do you understand?
A lie is a lie.
No, a lie is not a lie. Because there are certain things. It's important for us to one house, please. You know, there are certain things that I feel that because we have a lot of people looking up to us, I do not want a situation that I want us to always be out there to change the narrative positively. Sure. So not every lie is lie. But there are certain things that you just want to manage the expectations of certain people, not necessarily that you're lying. Do you understand? Well, that's the reason why I say convenient lie. However, back to the topic of the conversation or topic of the day or business of the day. Yes, they have denied the allegations. However, I read many sides to the story. I learned that the Wall Street Journal published a report on Sunday stating that the NAF booked the deal to secure about 12.7 caliber anti-aircraft guns as President Muhammadu Buhari was planning a trip to Katsina, his hometown. And the media outlet said the money was delivered to the bandits in, I think, Rugu, Is that where I think
think
in
the village
Rugu Forest
in Katsina.
by an officer who leaked, I think, yeah, in Katsina, that who leaked the details of the operation under anonymity and all of that. But you know what? Now, the question is, who is lying? We do not know whether it is the same people. We do not know whether it's President Muhammadu Buhari. But the question is, NFA has rejected this story, and this media outlet says or says the opposite. We need to be really careful, like I emphasized earlier, and I think that this is where we need to reinforce national unity as our watchword, because unity is what binds us together, that keep us together. The Wall Street Journal is an American-based media firm. I think that most of us are not really paying attention to that. While I understand that they have a good reporters and intelligence for news, but let's not forget the role America plays in destroying or in destruction of some nations. Yes, because they have negative reports about other countries and will never publish anything negative about themselves to put themselves in a bad image. And hence the reason why I feel that it's in our hands to continually change the narrative, continually put ourselves in a positive news. However, they are quick to defend themselves and quick to dirty the image of other countries, especially when it comes to the case of insecurity. I know with me, or with time, basically, you know, the truth will be known about these allegations, and I think that it's better for us to wait and observe and see what will unfold afterwards, because, you know, the way President Muhammadu Buhari has actually targeted the media in recent times, you know, sometimes I wonder whether we are all in the same country or not. But quickly, Aderoju, what's your take on this?
So I tend to agree with FO and you in the sense that we just need to be careful with the narrative that is being shared about Nigeria, and we just need to be able to understand and observe and also see how it plays out, and to also determine, because there are many sides to a story, you know, so we just need to, you know, just let it play out. Let us see and understand what exactly is happening, and then, you know, be able to take a decision from there.
All right. Ayodotun Akifenwa, what's your analysis on this story?
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, I would take it from a very holistic view. Where we are as a nation is as a result of what we have built, and has made us an easy target, whether the story is true or not, as well as an easy target for the media outlets, you know, and the onus is on us, every single one of us, whether people in government, whatever level, we all have a level of influence and a part to play at every level. I mean, we can go into it, but I know time will not permit us to go into all the different things that individually we do that we know we can do better. We can take better decisions. Those things all add up. Where we are today did not happen in 2021. It didn't happen in the last 4 years. It's been brewing, you know, and that's my take. that's my take. That's my submission.
All right. Many thanks, Ayodotun, for your submission on the first trending story. I think because we still have a bit of time in our hands, let's quickly take the second trending story, and that is the musician Faust. I don't know if I pronounce that name wrong. Faust. All right. You know, urges the youth to mark Ensa's memorial. You know, when I saw this, I wasn't sure that I really want to touch her name, but you know, we have to keep being real on this platform. What's your take, Aderoju? Let me start with you now. What's your take on this?
So, as you said, you know, it's something that one just needs to think deeply about. I think one should think about what brought it on, the events of last year, and just be reflective. And, you know, because there were lots of things that happened, you know, and good, bad, ugly, you know, so it's important to just be reflective and ensure that, you know what, the unity of Nigeria is the most important thing, you know, and that's what we all need to do.
All right, Damilola.
NSAS just like to pass by.
All right.
I don't want to see anything.
All right, Efo.
Okay, for NSAS, I would say we cannot just wish it away and pretend that nothing happened. We live in Lagos. We're here. We saw pictures. Some of us saw it on the TV. Some of us had the gunshots, continuous gunshots. Do you understand? So we can't just wish it away. We're not a country of mediocres. You can't treat all Nigerians like we're mediocres. It's not possible. It's not possible for the government to tell us absolutely nothing happened. Nobody died. But the state governor went to a certain hospital, went around hospitals and saw the injured. So they, all, like we said, all sides, you have different sides to the story. Blank bullets were fired, live bullets were fired. We cannot go on like this as a nation. Our unity is paramount. The youth must have a voice because we call them the leaders of tomorrow. These are our fathers who are there today, are not going to be there forever. They won't be there forever. Can we just come together and bring them in? And let's talk about, let's speak truth, because only the truth will set us free in this nation.
All right. Many thanks for the analysis, for and Adiroju. I think for me, I'm not against peaceful protest. You know, it is the constitutional right of the citizens. However, it makes us remember 1 year down the memory lane that youth stood against oppressions, innocent killing in this country from armed security officers or officials. In as much as when it comes to uniformed men, I tend to want to tread carefully because my father is one of them. And but 1 year later, we are in between the argument of the soldiers killing people. Some people are saying, no, the soldiers did not kill people. Justice is yet to be served to those who have suffered police brutality. Brutality still occurs till today from police offices. I've seen a lot of videos from Kogi State in the last 48 hours. I've seen a lot of police brutality from Kwara State in the last 36 hours. I've seen how the police, people in uniform, extort people on the streets. I've seen how a lot of youth today are still suffering, and some of them are still living in the agitation of what transpired last year. But to the youth out there who wants to protest, I want to say that you guys can protest peacefully without disrupting the commercial activities, without disrupting lives and properties. There should be expression of voice and not violence. It's important for me to emphasize on that again. There should be expression of voice and not violence. I would like to also use this platform, this medium, to put a note of warning to hooligans who are out there that they should please stay away during this protest tomorrow. And I wish Nigeria well. I pray that we can all move away from where we are today, because I know that NSAS have come to, NSAS have been, is now a segment that we can never forget when it comes to our history. And on that note, I just pray that we find peace moving forward. But quickly, Ayodotun, what's your take on this?
I think you've said it all. It's a really difficult conversation to have. It's something that's really tough. So I mean, I really want to say much. After all you've said, I think you've said it all. You said it all.
All right, thank you. I think we've come to the end of another edition of Real Talk with Kike. But before I let you both go, I want to give you an open platform, an open mic, basically. What do you have to say? What would you like to part away with as a strong word to youth who are listening to us out there, personally, not just from Wimbis?
Okay, so I think for me, it's more of like, just, we need to be true. We need to be true to our heritage, be true to our culture, be true to what we believe in, and, you know, trust that Nigeria is great and will be great.
All right, Ayodotun, what's your last parting words for the show today?
Okay, I'll encourage every young person watching this that there are some principles that outlast this season, that outlast all the fancy glitz and glamour that you may be seeking, that you may be going after. Principles of hard work, integrity, legacy, you know, which whatever season, whatever year, whatever decade, those things will take you to your goals. They'll help you achieve the life that you're desiring, whether you're here or in the diaspora. Don't lose sight of those values. Do not be carried away by, you know, quick riches and quick schemes and all the fancy stuff. Stay true to the values that, you know, the values that will take you far in life. That's my encouragement.
Many thanks for that. Indeed, we've had an awesome show on today's edition of Real Talk with Kike, courtesy our resourceful guests, that is Ade Roju and Ayodotun. Many thanks again for being part of our lunch show today. And to my co-host for keeping it real, I say thank you. My name remains Kike Lomatonda. Until I see you next week, please keep being real. And bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.